Hey everyone, it's Types, and today we're looking at Beach. Also, sorry for all the ads. They have quite a few, but that's not the point. Obviously, what we're talking about today is Pokemon. We're talking about the set Triple Beat, which I believe is a Japanese set. It doesn't matter too much. Actually, this might not be. I don't really know. No, this looks Japanese to me, but yeah. Okay, so it's coming in presumably in June for us. So that should be our second set, I think. But there's some cool cards to look at, notably the first. No, the EX versions of the starter. So that's pretty cool. But let's look at the Pokemon here. First of all, the basic and stage one aren't that good. Also, I don't know how to pronounce all these Pokemon, but I know how to pronounce some. So I'm sure that that's good enough. But be sure to correct me in the comments if I pronounce any of them wrong. But Meowscarada, EX here, 310 HP, which is, I don't really know what the HP value. I'm going to look at these other ones. This one's 340 and 320. So I think 320 is about standard. I think we're looking at same HP level as VMAX. So Meowscarada, a bit on the lower end for a Stage 2 EX, but I don't think it's a big deal. We'll see, though. Its ability here, which is really interesting, Magical Bouquet. You may discard a grass energy from your hand or to use this ability, and then you may choose one of your opponent's benched Pokemon and put 3 damage counters on it. I'm reading the wording here. It says can you discard as many grass as you want? I'm not sure, because this is once during your turn you choose the bench Pokemon. It doesn't really matter, though. Really, the big thing, obviously, is the bench damage. So that's pretty interesting. Kind of like Rapid Strike Inteleon or Rapid Strike Inteleon VMAX, both of which are pretty solid. Is it amazing? No, but it's fine. The Pure Evolutions, as I said, aren't that interesting. We do have the most interesting thing here. The Sprigatito searches for energy, which is kind of synergistic. That's kind of cool. And then the Floragato forces your opponents to switch. This is honestly a pretty alright attack here. And then you see the 2 colorless energy as part of the attack cost here, and that carried on. It does 100, but then if your opponent's active already has damage counters on it, it does 120 more damage. So obviously the synergy here is with this ability, but then it's not on the active. So I think a great combo here is definitely going to be I believe Radiant Alakazam, which moves damage counters around on your opponent's side of the board. Super great in this deck, which will be very strong. And then you're not one-shotting everything, but you're one-shotting some things. This is very similar to Suian Samurai V-Star, but this is a bit more payable. You could stick a double turbo, which isn't ideal. You could also use Gardenia's Vigor. Not too bad, especially when you're playing all this grass energy. So pretty solid there, but then they'll have some damage counters on them, so you'll be hitting and leaving them with around 240 or so damage on them. You could hit more theoretically with Choice Belt, or there's a new tool that I think you do 30 more if you're behind on prizes, so certainly pretty solid. Also, the ability, you could build up quite a few of these. This is kind of like Decidueye GX as well, which is the same as the Rapid Strike Inteleon from Chilling Reign, but just piling on damage. And that way, you could even play that in Inteleon. And then there's also the, I think it's Hawlucha, which is Galarian Zigzagoon doubled to 2 separate Pokemon, but they have to be on the bench. So same thing as Meowscarada, focusing on bench damage. And then you could play Boss to bring up whatever you pinged and then hit into it and possibly KO it. Keep in mind, Serena isn't going to trigger on EXs, so that's something to note as well. But then we see Paldean and Tauros. There are actually 3 of them, a Fire, Water, and a Fighting. They all have the same first attack, I believe, which does, for 2 colorless, 20, but 10 more for each damage counter on this Pokemon. It's not that impressive. It's not like a toolbox style thing you can really do, because you're not going to consistently get damage. But this Fire one, it does have a solid effect here, with the fact that you can use Magma Basin. Then you can move the energy off with Armor Rouge off of Paldean and Tauros. You can get a bunch of damage on this, and then you can go ahead and power up something else or power up this, and it's not too bad, but it's not that good either. This could maybe see a little bit of play here and there, but I don't think it's particularly strong. But it's a pretty good stat-wise Pokemon, but nothing amazing. We see Arcoyo here. And this is really, really interesting. Basic Pokemon, lovable, searchable. That's pretty cool. And also, this art, I find this art really weird. It's fun, but it's weird. But then we see you heal 20 from your once during your turn. You can heal 20 from your active evolution Pokemon. Obviously, this is very good with evolving EXs, notably the Stage 2 EXs. Obviously, what it's meant to pair with. And this is really good because you can use multiple Oricores every turn. I think this is just going to be very solid. Will this be amazing? Quite frankly, I don't know. I'm not very familiar with all the different new Pokemon. I think this has solid potential, though. Looking at, looking at VMAXs, we see cards like. Also, sorry if there's any flickering, but you can pair it with stuff like Hatterene VMAX or Celebi VMAX to heal a lot. Is it amazing? No, but I think this could see play. I wouldn't be shocked if it did. Then we see, I don't believe this Fuecoco is particularly interesting, a Crackalor. But Skeledirge here, massive 340 HP and a 1 energy attack and a 2 energy attack, so you can use Cheryl. But Vitality Song 50 and then heal 30 from each of your Pokemon. That's a solid chunk of healing if a bunch of your Pokemon have damage. Of course, one way they could have damage is from Magma Basin, and this will heal all the Magma Basin damage off, which is really nice, especially with Armrouge. So I think that's a solid combo. And then we also see Burning Voice. 270 for 2 is really, well, I think it's good. It's a Stage 2, but it has a lot of HP. I don't know how good these are going to be, as I said, but that looks pretty solid. But then it does 10 less for each damage counter on this Pokemon. So it's big health. You don't want to get hit into and then just be in a bad spot where you're not hitting much. You can, of course, go into Vitality Song, but you can also Cheryl. Keep in mind, if you Magma Basin, you need to Magma Basin after you Cheryl, so only be hitting 250. You can buff that up with some tools, though. It's a pretty solid damage output, obviously. And overall, I think this is a good card. I'm not sure how good. Also, I'm not sure. Fire's been quite bad since the last rotation. So I'm not overly confident about this, but I think Fire's going to get pretty good within this upcoming year. So I have hope for it. Also, I think Grass will be better, so it has some serious footing in the meta. And Water will be Water's like the best type right now, but I think Water will be a little weaker. And so, pretty interesting. Nothing crazy there either. I'm not exactly sure how you'd play this, but it's pretty cool. Then you see the other Paldean Tauros, one of the others. This Water one here. And it does same attack where it does more for each damage counter on it, except there's no Magma Basin or Armrouge, so it doesn't have the same benefit. And then you can do 60 Snipe for Watercolorless, Colorless. That's okay. It's not that good, but at least it provides some versatility. This could maybe pop up in a deck here or there, but it needs to be very specific. I'm not sure what it's going to be. I'm looking at the attack cost of like the Quavel, and I don't think it quite aligns with that. So I wouldn't be shocked if this Paldean Tauros would see some play, but I'm not quite sure. Also, the Paldean Tauros art here is insane. I don't know if I showed that off. This one is like so good. The rest of the arts in this, I've said this before, Scarlet and Violet has some amazing arts, but there are just some truly like exceptional ones. Like this one's pretty cool as well. But so looking at here, the Quaxley, pretty underwhelming. You do have this one that can stop him from attacking out a coin flip. Is it good? Not that good, but it's not the worst. But then we see Quaquavel here with 2 interesting attacks. Again, we saw an ability on Meowscarada, but Meowscarada, wait, what's it? Meowscarada. Yeah, sorry. As I said, I'm not overly familiar with these. I have not played the Scarlet and Violet games, but yeah, I should maybe try them. Yeah, I should probably try them. We'll see. I need a capture card if I want to show that to you guys as well. But I'd be comment down below if you'd be interested in seeing me do that. I don't know if it would be something I'd be great at, but it seems like an interesting adventure. But we're getting sidetracked here. We're looking at Quaquavel here. And Lively Samba, 60. And then it's a rope. Keep in mind that you do it first. So that's not ideal. You'd obviously rather your opponent do it first, so you have more information. That being said, it's pretty alright. 60 and hit and run. It's not bad, but I'm not sure if I love it either. I can't think of any amazing hit and run targets either, so it is what it is. And then Propeller Shot, 230, and then return 2 energy attached to this Pokemon to your hand. It's okay. It's not bad, but I don't love it. This is, in my opinion, the weakest of the 3. I think Meowscarada is probably the best, but Cocoevil's pretty underwhelming in my opinion. Nothing amazing about it. I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. Paleontauros here, the third one, the fighting one. This one does self-damage, so that has synergy with Fury Horn. Realistically, you're just gonna get KO'd though, so it's not that big. I don't hate this, but I think like fighting types are more technical into Dex. Generally, fighting is a more powerful type, but it's nothing crazy. So yeah, that's it with the Pokemon. Is it? Yeah, that is. We have some other really cool cards here, though. Some new ones and some reprints. One reprint. Superior Energy Retrieval. Discard 2 cards from your hand and then recover 4 basic energy. You can't recover the cards you just discarded. How good is this? I don't know. It depends what you're playing. Depends on synergies. I don't think it has amazing partners right now, but, Cherrim is good, I guess. Cherrim cannot accelerate to, EXs, but if you're evolving, you can accelerate before you evolve. So that's kind of cool. Will this be amazing? I don't know. It could be, honestly, if we see some really powerful accelerating Pokemon, but I don't think right now the meta really is looking for it. But it's a solid addition to the format, and I'm happy we're getting it back with the new G block. And this art is pretty saucy as well. And then, let's see, what should we look at? Dendra here, I guess. This says, supporter, put a card from your hand on the bottom of your deck, then draft layer 5. It's not that good. It's pretty underwhelming. It can maybe see some play here or there. It conserves resources, but it's not that strong. All in all, I'm not a big fan of this deck. It has some potential, but not that much. Clavel here. Search your deck for... this one's interesting. So search your deck for 3 basic Pokemon that have 120 HP or less. Put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So this is... So this is definitely them looking at, I believe is it Professor Elm's Lectern? Something like that. It's a spiritual reprint of that, except accounting for power creep. Not necessarily just power creep, but also for just making it more reasonable. This really searches for a lot of different basics. It's kind of like Gloria, except you don't have to bench them immediately. So that's kind of nice. I do like this. You can play with Luminion. Will this see play? Is it better than Gloria as well? I don't know. It doesn't search for any single prizers. It gets, or any multi-prizers. It gets a few Radiants, I think, but that's about it. It's whatever. I think it's an interesting card. We need to watch out. Keep it in mind. I think people will like this as it's a reprint. People wanna go back to the olden days with all their GXs and stuff. But it's a solid card, but not that good. Not amazing by any means. But we'll see if it sees play. I wouldn't be shocked if it sees play, but I don't think it's amazing. Then we have our Artizone Town. I don't know what... Oh, I guess I know this place from the game, but... so once during each player's turn, that might... Oh, yeah, this card. So once during each player's turn, that player may search the deck for a basic Pokemon that's not a Rule X Pokemon and put it onto their bench, and then they shuffle their deck. So this is a better version of Clavel, or Clavel, whatever. It's more consistent. It helps your opponent as well, but I think it's very solid, and I think this will see play. I think it's one of the better stadiums right now. Obviously, if you're playing Fire, you want to play Magma Basin. Path of the Peak isn't bad by any means, but I think Artizone Town will definitely see play, especially if you're not playing, obviously, a Lightning or Dragon deck, and you want to play Stormy Mountains instead to not help your opponent. But I think this will see play and is a pretty nice setup option. Then we have Luminous Energy. Okay, this looks awesome. I love it. This is kind of like Aurora Energy, except it pops more. All these cards have a nice pop to them. And maybe the gray borders help, but really what helps, it looks so good. I love this one. Unlike this, which actually this doesn't look that bad. From zoomed out, it looks kind of bad. But as I said, I really like this style, the Superior Energy Retrieval, the Luminous Energy, really awesome. But we see here that it's obviously a Rainbow Energy type card, but it only provides that rainbow type energy if it's the only special energy attached. Otherwise, it just provides colorless. So one, obviously, this is to stop Lugia and Archeops from becoming overpowered, because it's still good in that deck, but you can't. Well, actually, it's not really good in that deck. It's good in. It's a good card though. It still provides that basic Aurora energy idea. You can play Aurora, Rainbow, or whatever. Luminous energy provides that same idea as long as you're not stacking it onto one Pokemon, which you really shouldn't be doing anyway in like a normal deck. So we're looking at, say, the stage 2s here. Quaquaval could use this, or Skeldurge could use this. And even something like, really, Meowscarada. What is this Pokemon again? Meowscarada could use it, but probably not. Realistically, though, I like this design philosophy. I think it's good. I think it's not broken, but I think it will see play. I'd be shocked if it doesn't see play. I'll say that. I don't know if it'll see a ton of play. I think it'll see a solid chunk, though. I'm interested in seeing how good it will be. But yeah, overall, I think it's pretty fun. I hope you're gonna enjoy these new cards. I'm not sure how I'm gonna play them because live is looking pretty bad. It just got updated and now it's worse again. The matchmaking is kind of broken and stuff. And then yeah, it's just all bad. But not these cards are really cool. It's a mini set, but hopefully we'll see some more. I was waiting for some more cards to be revealed, and they weren't revealed. So yeah, gonna show off a review a bit late here, but yeah, some awesome arts. This is for Coco. What is the Pokemon? I need to learn these names. For Coco, yeah, whatever. This guy looking super cute here. But yeah, I hope you're enjoying Pokemon. If you enjoyed the video, I really appreciate a like and subscribe. And as always, I'm excited to see you in the next video.